I think if you take the title off Priest now, you're going to hurt him. And you have the easy screw, bro. CM Punk screws Drew in his hometown. Now you're really putting Drew over the edge now.
So we got, speaking of champions, we got Drew McIntyre. Let's hit on this here. Drew McIntyre going against Damian Priest, World Heavyweight Champion, and Clash at the Castle in Scotland. And just some quick predictions. What do you think, EC3? Do you think your boy Drew takes it once again? Well, this will be his second reign as World Heavyweight Champion. His first one only lasted a little bit over 5 minutes. This will be his second World Heavyweight Championship reign. I believe this will be his fourth reign as a world champion in the WWE. Do you think he takes it from Damian Priest?
Do I think? Yeah, I do. Okay. Do I hope? Yeah, I do. Drew, yeah, he's a friend of mine, but he's also like a world-class talent, world-class human, A+ game on social media as of late. But, you know, when he had the match with Brock, that was during the COVID season, it was kind of like, right? It didn't have the reaction. It didn't have that momentous feeling. What happened to WrestleMania, opening the show kind of like with the switch happening, it didn't have that momentous feeling. I think Drew, as a performer, individual, an artist, an athlete, a win in Scotland, the reaction, like everything we've ever been through in all of our lives, our careers, sometimes comes down to just having one feeling one time that you can't ever recreate or ever recapture. And I think him taking that in Scotland would provide that, and he's earned it. Not that Damian is not doing a bad job at all, but I think yes.
Wonderful. To your point, EC3, especially from the ovation that he got when he eliminated Brock Lesnar, when there were still people around at the Royal Rumble. 2 months later, the world was shut down. He didn't get to capitalize on that momentum that he got from eliminating Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble.
How did that work out again?
Yeah. Well, moving on, we'll go to Vince Russo. What do you think?
Real right?
What do you think about Drew and Priest, man? You see Drew winning?
I disagree with that.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. First of all, Drew is probably at the very tippity top of my list of who my favorite is at the WWE right now, without a shadow of a doubt. However, I think if you take the title off Priest now, you're going to hurt him. And you have the easy screw, bro. CM Punk screws Drew in his hometown. Now you're really putting Drew over the edge now. I mean, now he can have an edge. I mean, he can literally become a killer. So you very, very easily get out of the match playing the CM Punk card and not hurting Drew at all. I think if this early on you take that belt from Damian Priest, I think you hurt him a little bit.
I agree that it will hurt him, but I don't agree that he will win. I do think that the money is more in Drew versus Punk for the title. I think stakes would be better, especially since Punk cost Drew the World Heavyweight Championship. And so he wants the World Heavyweight Championship back. And to me, it just doesn't make sense if Punk costs Drew the title. Like, wouldn't he want Drew to win the title to go for him, to go against him at SummerSlam for the title, though? Wouldn't that make sense for him to want him to win the title? Because he knows that, like, Drew has CM Punk on his radar. Like, he has tunnel vision to go against CM Punk. If anything, if I was CM Punk, I would help Drew win the title, because if Priest wins, CM Punk isn't going to go for the title. He's just going to have a regular match against Drew. If Drew wins, it's going to be a title match.
But ask yourself this question. Out of those three guys, who needs the title the most?
Who needs the title the most would be Damian Priest. But I will say this, Drew McIntyre is starting to become notorious for not winning the big ones, though. And it's been against Gunther twice, against Seth twice, against Seth twice, and he beats him, and then he loses against Damian Priest. And so eventually, he only had the title for 5 minutes, so he didn't even leave as champion from WrestleMania. And then he lost against Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, because he was a title contender, lost against Lashley. So he's been notorious over the past few years of not winning the big title matches. And so that's going to start catching some steam, man, and that's really going to start lowering the stock of Drew, that he's not going to win the big ones. It's not going to make the feel of winning the big one as impactful as it should, especially because guess what? The other pay-per-view that was in Wales, he went against Roman Reigns for the title, and guess what happened? He lost. So he's notorious for doing that, and I don't think he's like having him lose again for a title. Couldn't beat Reigns, couldn't beat Bobby Lashley, couldn't beat Seth twice. I'm not sure about that, man.
One thing too, I think the fans in the UK are so passionate and so loyal that they never seem to have their moment either. That maybe now it's just the perfect storm of rewarding them too for that loyalty. They're going to pack the building, anytime wrestling in general is around, like they follow and they support. They are truly great fans, but like what moment has been built for them as well to kind of vicariously celebrate through a talent?
100%. And both of y'all know, as far as just grabbing content to show 6 years from now, right? Like they still show SummerSlam 92, Bulldog pinning Brett. They still show that, and that was 22 years ago. They're looking for that moment. They're looking for those highlight moments of this, generation to start playing for the next. You got Kofi winning, and really after that, who really what do you have that's like highlight worthy to play, for moments 20 years from now? WWE is going to have a Black History Month type of tribute, and now you have Kofi Kingston winning the World Heavyweight Champion. That's always going to be get played as far as that highlight. What else do they have right now to play for future generations? They're still banking on something that happened 22 years ago to still play for now when it comes to big highlights.
Yeah, it was like last week when we were talking about the Ron Simmons win.
Exactly.
After that, and that place is just shaking, So,
what do you think, Vince? What do they have? What have they built up now as far as just like generational highlights that they can play for the next generation right now?
Well, I guess the whole Cody Rhodes story. What else has that been, bro? You know what I mean? Yeah, they'll play Cody Rhodes finishing the story, but it's like, is this what you're telling me? Is this what you're telling me, Chris?
No yeet.
Indeed, yes, yes.
Okay.
No yeet.